Koproducent TV serijala Intervju 20, BH Telekom.
Ova prelijepa obala nalazi se na sjeverozapadu Španije, u autonomnoj pokrajini Galiciji. Upravo ovdje se nalazi glavni grad istoimene provincije, Corunje, koji se prostire na površini od 36,8 kvadratnih kilometara i u kojem danas živi oko 250.000 stanovnika. Zanimljiv je podatak da je zapravo La Corunja drevni grad koji je prema vjerovanju ovdašnjih stanovnika osnovao Herkul. Podaci nam kazuju da su La Corunju u davnoj prošlosti okupirali Kelti, Feničani i Rimljani, i to uglavnom zbog ekonomskih razloga. Naime, ovaj dio Španije bio iznimno bogat mineralima. Rimljani su stigli u La Corunju u 2. vijeku prije nove ere, a zbog strateškog položaja grad je tada postao važan i za prekomorsku trgovinu, što potvrđuje i izgradnja svjetionika. Uticaj Rimljana bio je veoma značajan i ostavio je traga u svim oblastima života, od jezika do kulture i religije. Corunja je posljednjih godina izuzetno napredovala, razvijajući se u oblastima saobraćaja, kulture, sporta, a veliki napori su uloženi kako bi se obala uredila. Corunja posjeduje tradicionalni karakter, pa je već vjekovima trgovački, lučki i turistički grad. Ljubitelji umjetnosti u ovom gradu neće biti uskraćeni za pravi užitak, a i naša ekipa je upravo svjedočila tome. Tokom našeg boravka u La Corunji u ovdašnjem muzeju likovne umjetnosti upriličena je izložba povodom života Pabla Picassa u ovom gradu. Naime, 1892. godine Picassova porodica preselila se u Corunju, a godinu poslije Picasso je krenuo pohađati umjetničku školu. Već 1894. godine, kada je imao 13 godina, Pablo Picasso je naslikao svoje prvo ulje na platnu, i to portret njegove porodice, a godinu poslije počeo je u La Corunji i prodavati svoje radove. Bilo je iznimno zadovoljstvo snimiti prvi dio emisije Intervju 20 o gradu La Corunja sa dogradonačelnicom, divnom damom Luizom Sid, u Muzeju likovne umjetnosti, i to u prostoru gdje je upriličena izložba o životu Pabla Picassa. Izgledalo je to ovako.
Dragi gledatelji, dobrodošli u jedno uistinu lijepo i posebno izdanje emisije Intervju 20. Iznimna mi je čast što u ovoj emisiji možemo govoriti o jako lijepom gradu La Corunji koji se nalazi na sjeveru Španjolske. Moja gošća večeras je dogradonačelnica La Corunje, gospođa Luisa Sid. Señora Dona Luisa Sid, ¿cómo estás?
Muy bien, gracias.
Ovo je sve što znam reći na španskom. Stoga da počnemo sa narednim pitanjem. Možete li nam ukratko predstaviti La Corunju?
A Coruña maybe is different from the idea that people from other countries have of Spain, because we are not this typical image of Andalusia, for example. We are not that Spain of the beaches and the sun that belongs to the south of the country. We're more like Ireland or, I don't know, Scotland. We are the green Spain, the Spain of the forests, of the Atlantic Ocean, and even of the magic, because we are a Celtic country, Galicia. And A Coruña is a small city surrounded by the sea, because we are a peninsula. You can walk all around the city, because we are only 37 square kilometers, and you can find a beautiful garden beside every corner. And it's very beautiful. You live very well here. It's never too hot or too cold. It's a good living. You eat very, very well. People come here for many reasons, for cultural reasons, for the landscape, for history. But mainly people come here to eat because of the gastronomy.
Really? What exactly?
Šta tačno? Šta je najbolje od vaše ponude?
You know that there are places where they have something which is extraordinary. I don't know, maybe some kind of fish or lamb or I don't know, something. Everything here is good. Everything. You can find all kinds of things and everything will be excellent. Sometimes people say that the cooking in Galicia is not as, I don't know, well worked as the Catalanese or the Basque, but it is because the products are all so excellent that you have just to boil them, to put them salt and olive oil, and you need nothing else. As you will be here for some days, you have to test that, and you shall tell me. It is wonderful, and I think that what I can say is a wonderful place to be happy. And that's absolutely true.
And I ask you, what is
Moram vas onda pitati šta je tako posebno u vezi sa ovim gradom, a što biste podijelili sa nama?
I think it's the good living. You can walk everywhere. You have the sea all around, which gives you this kind of sense of freedom and joy. You have the lights until very late. For example, the most important party that we have here, the most important festivity is St. John. And St. John, which is on the 23rd to the 24th of June, the sun sets at 11 p.m.
Oh.
It is, and the sun sets with red light, because this was the Finisterrae, the end of the world for the Romans. And every photographer that comes to town tells you that the light is different, and you can sense that. And this history that we have here from the Celts, all the traditions with the magic, are very special too. And people are kind. As I was telling you, eating is very important here. You go to eat, I don't know, to any house or any restaurant with friends, and with the friends that you bring with you, and the new friends that you will make. Absolutely, certainly, you will make new friends. And this eating will begin, I don't know, maybe at 1 or 1:30, but it will continue till the night. You will match it with dinner, because people talk and people sing. And I studied elsewhere and I worked elsewhere. And when it came to the time to build my own family and be happy again, I came back home.
Okay.
Da, ali recite mi još, koliko je turizam zapravo važan segment ovdašnje privrede?
The economy, this is a wealthy town. For example, nowadays that we're still in a very serious crisis, but when the rest of Spain has an unemployment ratings of 25% or such, we have 15%, 10 points down. And it has always been a very wealthy city because of the port mainly. We are in a corner of Spain and in a corner of Europe if you see that from the point of view of the land. But if you look at this city from the point of view of the sea, we are in a corner that connects Europe with America and with Africa. And the port has always been very important for commerce, this port. That's why we have a lighthouse 2,000 years old that is still working as a lighthouse. The Romans built it, and it is so well placed that it's still the lighthouse that everybody uses because of the importance of this port. And for example, in Spain, which is a country of very strong Catholic roots, and you go through Spain and every small villages will have a lot of churches. But in Coruna you will find very few old churches, because when the crown founded this city, it was only for free men. It was forbidden the nobility and the church because of the port. The port was so important for the crown that the only inhabitants that could be here in Coruna only could be free men, not belonging to the church, not belonging to the nobility. And it is a tradition. It's kind of what happens with Barcelona. If you have an important port of this kind, through history, there will be many people coming in and coming out from every culture, from every language, from every kind of religion and every kind of thoughts. And that makes the population be very free-minded. And I think we still keep it that way.
To je jedna vrlo zanimljiva priča. Moram vas upitati i šta je to što turisti neizostavno moraju vidjeti ovdje?
The must for the tourists to see is, of course, the Tower of Hercules, which is the lighthouse, the Roman lighthouse, 2,000 years old. Not only because of the building, which is as well because it is World Heritage, but also because of the legends around it, and because of the landscape around it. It is all protected, and it is still nowadays the second highest lighthouse in this part of Europe. Okay. It is huge, it is magnificent. You can see young children sense it. When they enter the Tower of Hercules, they say it is a magic tower. It is kind of that. You can really sense these 2,000 years of history in this building, and you can sense what it was then. And it is told not by us, but by Irish people. They have a book 1,000 years old, which is the Book of Invasions, in which they say that Ireland was founded by people from Galicia, by a king which was Breogan. It was the king of Galicia who lived here in Coruna, and he was in the top of the Tower of Hercules, and he saw a green island, and so he sent his sons, and they founded Ireland. It is said not by Spanish people, but by the Irish people. And we share this culture, and all the O'Briens come from this Breogan king from Galicia. And so every visitor must go to the Tower of Hercules, but every visitor should walk through the city. Kind of lose himself or herself and just walk by, because of the typical houses which are glass houses. It was the old method to keep warm the homes, so they are glass facades which reflects not only the light, but this kind of rain that we have here. The rain here is of very, very small drops of water that float in the air. And with this light I was telling you about, everything shines. So it is a very beautiful city to just walk by and see and stop somewhere to eat and just enjoy.
Kćerka mi je rekla, mama, molim te, postavi ovo pitanje. Šta je prvo što djeca u školi nauče o ovom gradu?
I don't know really, because a school child learns about the city. It's a difficult question. Maybe the children will learn about Maria Pita and all the women that have been important in town, because this city has always been through history led by women, very strong women. Maria Pita, for example, and she gives the name to the main square, which is just in front of the city hall. And she was a warrior that led the population when Sir Francis Drake was going to invade by the orders of Elizabeth I of Great Britain. He was going to invade Lisbon, and they stopped here just to take some food and some things. It was just a stop by, yes. But the population raised, and just a few hundred of people stopped all the military, the army, led by Sir Francis Drake, and he couldn't conquer Lisbon. And it was her, when her husband was killed, she just raised her arm and said, "Everybody who has honor, follow me." And just a few hundred population stopped a whole army of thousands of men. And, but this is not the only case. We have, for example, women writers, which were the first women in Spain to be teachers at universities. The first woman in Spain who wrote books and laws for prisoners, people that were imprisoned and in very extreme situations. And this woman wrote all the laws where in a moment where it was not thinkable that a woman could take such a place. The history of Coruna is full of strong, wonderful women, and that's something we really like very much.
To je vrlo zanimljivo. Možda odlučim i da ostanem ovdje.
Anytime.
Poseban je razlog našeg dolaska ovdje. Čuveni Picasso vezuje se za Corunju. Recite nam nešto i o tome.
Picasso, who was born in Malaga, came to this town when he was 9 years old, and he stayed here until he was a teenager, because his father was the teacher of the arts school in this town. And when he arrived to Coruna, we have, because everything has been kept, we have some drawings or some paintings that he did. He was just 9 years old, and it was nothing, it was the work of a child. But in these 5 years, he learned to paint. He painted 74 paintings, and when he left this town, he was considered a master. Not the master that he will become later, a master of the late years of the 19th century. But he made the first exhibitions he made in his life, he made them in Coruna. And he painted not the kind of modern art that made him a genius, but you will see, everybody who comes here will see that, as he once told when he was being interviewed, he was painting like Raphael, and it took him a lot of years to forget how to do that and to learn to paint again the way he did afterwards. But you can see, for example, something very interesting, which is when he learned here how to paint. For example, he painted, I don't know, bullfighters or I don't know, priests, or the heads of figures, historical figures, and he kept on painting the same figures all his life, changing every time the kind of painting he did. But you can follow how he started, and he was painting again and changing. He was very much in love with the paintings he did here when he was a teenager, and he kept them all his life with him in his own house. And so the family has been kind enough to lend us some of these paintings, and we have lendings too from the museums of Paris, of Barcelona, of Antibes, and this is a magnificent exhibition of 200 works related to this young Picasso, which is very interesting because experts tell us it is not difficult to make an exhibit of the works of Picasso, is just a matter of money. But it is extraordinary that such an interested and and a figure that has been so studied can show us an unknown aspect of his work, and that we can see how the genius was built in his very early years. So we are really very proud that everybody has lent us all these works, and we can talk about some things that accompanied him till he was very, very old. And it was his creativity, his first love. There is a painting upstairs, the girl with the bare foot, and she was his first love. And you can see it is his first masterpiece. And you can sense something special in this painting, which was made by a 14-year-old boy. And I think it's very nice. We are very proud of it. And I know that many people will come to see this.
Odlična priča, moram da kažem. Koproducent ove emisije Intervju 20 je jedna uspješna bosansko-hercegovačka kompanija BH Telekom. I njihovo pitanje vama je šta je to što turisti moraju obići u Galiciji, a naročito ovdje u La Coruni.
I think that people that come to Galicia have to see the Tower of Hercules, as we have said.
Moraju vidjeti cijelu La Corunu.
Yes, walk by Coruña.
To je najvažnije.
It is just a good experience. They have to see Santiago de Compostela. They have to see the Thies Islands and the sacred rivers. Galicia is a beautiful garden in the north of Spain, and it is an experience that everybody should have once at least in life.
Koliko je posebno ovo mjesto ako ga uporedimo sa drugim gradovima u Španiji?
It is just different. Spain is not such a big country in terms of square meters, but you can see many different Spains because it is a very old country, and many cultures have come through us, and you can see all of them. You can go through every part of Spain and you will feel all kind of stories, all kind of traditions, and all kind of gastronomy. When I was very young, I made a wonderful trip with my parents and my brothers and sisters, and we were going from place to place to see cathedrals, to see castles, and to taste all gastronomy because it's so rich. And I think Spain is also a very welcoming country. People are just nice. So I feel very grateful to live in Spain, though I really enjoy traveling and see that the world is magnificent and very, very big and has wonderful cultures elsewhere. But I think that Spain is really wonderfully gifted, and it's something that we should be really grateful about.
Na šta ste naročito ponosni?
What am I most proud of? I think of history, maybe. That's something I really enjoy very much. I like to walk by and see. You know that Cervantes in Don Quixote said that the people that walk much and read much sees many things and knows many things. So I think that's something everybody should do. Walk a lot, read a lot, listen a lot, talk to many people and enjoy life.
Isprobat ću vaš recept. Sigurna sam da je Deportivo vaš omiljeni fudbalski klub.
Yes. Deportivo is very important for this city because, you know, football is something very important in Spain. Not only because everybody thinks of the famous football players and the money around them and such, but people live it so intensely. The young children, when they are born, and the people in the family buy them little shoes and scarves of the football team of the city. No? And in Coruña, everybody is so linked to the Deportivo, which is one of the oldest football teams in Spain, and it has a great history, and we are always so proud of them, and so it's a very important part of our lives.
Da li ste ikada bili u Bosni I Hercegovini?
No, I have never, but I will have to, because you have been telling me about it, and I shall as soon as I can.
You must.
Of course.
You must, and
Morate svakako, ali prije toga morate naučiti nešto o Bosni I Hercegovini. Ovdje imamo jedan poklon za vas. Ovo je knjiga o ljepotama Bosne I Hercegovine.
Bosnia and Herzegovina in English.
Na engleskom, naravno. Ovo je poklon od mene.
For you, Isa.
Thank you so much, dear. It's wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hvala vama. Dobro nam došli u Sarajevo, glavni grad Bosne I Hercegovine. I hvala vam za vrijeme koje ste izdvojili za ovaj razgovor.
You're welcome, and thank you so much for coming here and share with people in Bosnia and Herzegovina the joys you can have in Coruna and in Spain.
I wait you.
Očekujemo vas u Sarajevu.
Nakon razgovora sa dogradonačelnicom, krenuli smo u obilazak grada. Stanovnici La Corunje vrijeme u gradu najviše provode na trgu Marija Pita ispred zgrade gradske uprave. Tu su restorani, kafići, a u malim sporednim ulicama nalaze se zanimljive trgovine sa suvenirima i drugom robom. Corunja se može pohvaliti dobrim javnim prevozom, a zbog turizma ovdje je mnogo toga posljednjih godina uređeno i prilagođeno potrebama turista. Tokom našeg obilaska gradske zone bilježimo i prisustvo ovih lijepih mladih dama u tradicionalnim nošnjama, a sve s ciljem turističke promocije La Corunje.
Ovo je tradicionalna nošnja.
En Galicia hay diferentes zonas, ¿no? 4 provincias y cada provincia tiene su traje regional. Aquí en Coruña, en nuestro traje regional, pues es así, tiene bueno, esta forma. Y bueno, somos las megas de San Juan, que aquí es muy tradicional, la fiesta de San Juan, que es en junio. Y bueno, nada más.
Moram vas pitati šta je najbolje ovdje u La Corunji? Najbolje, najljepše.
I think all. La Coruña es muy bonito, la zona de la playa, María Pita, el ayuntamiento y la party San Juan, 23 de junio, que venga todo el mundo.
Deportivo, fudbalski klub.
Hombre, por supuesto, the best team in Spain.
O turističkoj ponudi La Corunje i o tome šta moramo vidjeti kada dođemo u ovaj grad, razgovarali smo sa direktorom turističke zajednice Joseom Pazom.
Evo nas sada u turističkom birovu La Corunje i razgovaramo sa gospodinom Joseom Pazom o tome šta zapravo ovaj grad iz Španjolske ima ponuditi turistima koji dođu ovamo.
Gospodine Jose Paz, možete li nam reći nešto o ljepotama La Corunje?
Okay. La Coruña is an Atlantic city in the northwest of Spain. It's an open city, okay, where you can see the Atlantic Ocean coming to the city every day. I think the beauty of the city, if you haven't been here during this day, is very obvious. Okay, this is like a peninsula, okay, very small area with an ancient buildings, and I think it's very open to visit and very pleasant. Our tourism principle is familiar tourism. Okay, we have a very important net of cultural offer. Of course, the gastronomy is fundamental in this area. Fishes, the seafood is fantastic, and of course the Congress and the conventions area is very important in the city. We organize a lot of conferences here, national most of them, okay, from the rest of Spain, but we have 2 Congress centers in the city, and it's one of the main products, as you can see.
Ukoliko vas pitam šta je to što moramo vidjeti ovdje, kako bi glasio vaš odgovor?
Okay, I think the first thing is the surrounding the area. As you can see, we have a 10 kilometers walking area surrounding the city and with the views of the Atlantic. You can see the wild of the sea just in front of you. I think it's a combination, and a spectacular combination. Of course, the Torre de Hércules of lighthouse that you can see is the oldest lighthouse working in the world. So that is an spectacular, is our main point of the city, our reference of the city with 2,000 years living here with us. So for me it's the most important thing, and also because it's a very easy walking city, okay? Very safe. You can walk around the city, there's no problem. You have this walking area surrounding the city. And I think with this beauty, and also, of course, combining with our gastronomy, that I think is very important for us, for the northern people. I think
Recite mi nešto o tome.
About this, yes. The gastronomy is very important for us in the northern area because of the quality of the products. We have an excellent produce in the seafood and the fishes. As I told you, in this area of the Atlantic, we have a very important industry with the sea, combining the sea. We do not forget the interior areas in Galicia, for example, in our region, that products and other products, that meat and vegetables, for example. But in the case of the seafood and the fishes, the quality is excellent. That is very common in Spain, from people from Madrid and also from Barcelona that organize meetings and organize congresses and conferences. They love to come to Galicia because of course, the area, the people, things like that. But one of the important points is the gastronomy. This quality of fishes, this quality of seafood that you can only find in this area.
Jedan od razloga zašto neko poželi doći u Španiju ili La Corunju je veoma bogato historijsko nasljeđe. Možete li nam reći nešto više o tome?
Well, this is one of the main important areas. As I told you before, we have the lighthouse, the oldest lighthouse in the world, that is Torre de Hércules, of course. We have histories in combining with the rest of Spain, and also our links with UK, with England, for example. So, in our history, we have a lot of combination of these histories. We have Roman areas in not only La Coruña, in all the region. So the history is biting you every place you go here and every place you visit. But the main important thing in the city, if you want to visit, you have to imprint in the visit is that in a very short walking area, in the old quarters of the city, you can see a lot of different areas with a lot of different histories in a very, very, very short area.
Kulturno nasljeđe. Šta nam možete reći o tome? Vidjela sam da imate veliki broj muzeja ovdje.
Yes. The net of museums of the city, as I told you, with our tourist card, you can to visit free of cost of them. We have put called houses of. The house of the fishes, the house of the sciences, the house of the people. So the different museums are very didactic ones, okay? And as I told you before, thinking in the familiar tourism, to come with the babies, with the children, and with the whole family. So we have, I think, a very good aquarium to visit. It's not the biggest one, as you can see, but a combination of different species of the Atlantic fall, okay, and with a exterior area very close to the walking area, as I told you before. We have the House of the Men that you can see is an anthropologic museum. We have national museums of science of Spain in here, also the Muntic, for example. We have museums like the houses of science and planetariums, for example, okay, and we have, of course, miradors. Okay, in the area of the Mount of San Pedro, when you can visit and surrounding. So you have the different offer, very close, different museums to combine with the experience of the city, with the ancient and the cultural area. And I think it's very important, not only the museums, the public one museums that you can visit. You have a lot of art galleries in the city and foundations of the big companies like, for example, banks and things like that, that they organize a lot of pictures and, of course, different cultural expressions. In this moment, we have a very important exposition of Picasso, the beginning of Picasso. And I think it's very important for us because Picasso was living in La Coruña and he began to paint in here. So we are now, for the first time, we are showing to the people how he began drawing and the beginning of the years of Picasso and the living experience in here in our city. That is not very known. You know, the living of Malaga, maybe Barcelona or Paris, but not in La Coruña, that he was a very young boy with 9 years old, okay? And he began here the experience with his father in our museums.
U ime svih gledateljica, moram vas pitati gdje je najbolji shopping. Koja su najbolja mjesta za kupovinu? Morate mi otkriti tajnu.
I think you are in the perfect area. You know that La Coruña is the house of Inditex of Sara. You know, the owner of La Coruña lives here, and this big empire of shopping that is Sara began here in La Coruña.
Imamo Zaru i mi u Sarajevu.
Yeah. So in the whole world you have Saras and Inditex shops. So, but the headquarters is here in La Coruña. That this is the owner is living here, very close where we are now speaking now. But you have a different offer in La Coruña. You have big shopping centers, very big, surrounding the area. Okay, you have a capacity of shopping centers in the area. But I also recommend you, if you like shopping, walking in the headquarters, in the old quarters of the city, very close where we are here. And it's a very good experience, the walking city and practicing the shopping. So you have the small shopping areas in here with different zones, the commercial one in the old quarters, and as I told you before, is the main city of the area, the northern area here in the northwest of Spain. So many people come the weekend to do shopping with children, and with that opportunity that visit the area and visiting the city to practicing also the food.
Okay. What is that
Moram vas upitati i šta je to što ovdje moramo kupiti?
To buy here. Well, you have an opportunity to buy many things. Okay, gastronomy products, that's very important because
Kada govorimo o hrani i gastronomiji, šta je to što moramo probati?
The seafood. You have to taste the seafood. Okay, the barnacles. Okay, that is very difficult to get them with the winter time because of the sea and the sea conditions. But the barnacles I recommend you, and I don't know, maybe clams if you like that. Okay, crabs that are very famous in here, lobsters. Okay, Galician lobsters. But as I told you before, the difference of the seafood in here is because of the area, the quality of the salt. Okay, and the combination of the temperature of the sea, okay, and the salt sea. Okay. In the south of Galicia, we have the rias that are inlets, like in Norway, okay, that you come inside. So this quality of waters, okay, this combination of temperature and salt, okay, of the water gives you an excellent quality of seafood. And of course, in this area of La Coruña, the barnacles that are just in front of you, where you can break in the sea with the stone. And this white area of the sea is where you take the barnacles. It's very difficult to take them, but the quality of this product is excellent. And please, I recommend you this, combining, of course, with a very good fish that you can choose what you prefer.
I will.
Zasigurno hoću.
Do it, please.
Želim vas još pitati šta je najvažnije za turiste kada dođu ovdje u La Coruñu.
Well, we combine two kinds of products. We are a very a summer destination for many people. There are people who comes to La Coruña for a long instance. Okay, this is a tradition of the area. There are people who comes here for a month or more than that, and they stay in this area because we have an excellent beaches in the area.
Of course.
Na kraju ovog intervjua, gospodine Paz, moram vas pitati na koji biste način pozvali građane Bosne i Hercegovine da posjete vaš prekrasni grad.
Well, we would love the people from Bosnia and Herzegovina come to La Coruña. I think it could be a surprise for them. In Spain, maybe the most important city that you know are Barcelona, Seville, Madrid, that is the big one cities. We are a medium city with 250,000 people living there. I think it's a city with excellent services, okay, with a beauty, a natural beauty, as you can see, okay, and very easy, very safe to visit with the family. It's a familiar destination, and with, I think, a very good combination of culture, a good combination of gastronomy, as I told you before, and of course the diversion of the city of the northern area, because we are a happy people that we want to stay in the area, and we organize a lot of concerts, a lot of cultural offer that if you see our agenda, you can see that. We are going to have the concert of Sting in June, and so we have a very, very, very active agenda of different offers. So please come to La Coruña. This is the city that nobody is a foreigner, okay? We welcome everybody, it's our lemma, so we would love to receive all the people who visit us.
Hvala vam puno za ovaj razgovor. I molim vas, posjetite Sarajevo. I mi imamo odličnu gastronomiju.
Sure. I would love to do it. As I told you before, I've been very close to Kotor in San Stefan in the lake. It's not Sarajevo, I know, but in Bosnia. But I've been eating a very excellent fish, okay, that I love it, and the gastronomy of the area, I know it. But next trip, I will call you, of course, and you will show me the area.
Dobrodošli ste. Hvala vam puno.
It was a pleasure.
Hvala vam.
Thank you.
Nadamo se da smo vas uspjeli zainteresovati da posjetite La Coruñu. Ovdje možete uživati na više od 2 km uređenih plaža. Gastronomska ponuda će vas također oduševiti, a obavezno trebate posjetiti toranj Herkules ili park San Pedro, koji se nalazi na brdu iznad grada La Coruñe, pa dolaskom na ovo mjesto možete uživati u idiličnom pogledu. U Corunji trebate odvojiti vrijeme i za posjetu muzejima, kojih u ovom gradu ima više od 15, a mi vam preporučujemo Muzej nauke kao i Kuću ljudskog tijela, poznatiju kao Domus. Riječ je naime o interaktivnom muzeju koji posjetiocima omogućava da iz blizine vide kako funkcioniše ljudsko tijelo. Navečer u La Corunji možete pogledati i neku predstavu u jednom od 3 ovdašnja pozorišta. Mi preporučujemo pozorište Rosalía de Castro, sagrađeno u 19. vijeku, a nalazi se u blizini trga Marija Pita. Ako pak La Corunju posjetite narednog mjeseca, odnosno tokom juna, onda planirajte da to bude na dan obilježavanja Svetog Jovana, odnosno 23. juna. Tada se na čuvanim plažama Riazor i Orzan okupi čak i do 100.000 ljudi, a tokom dana bendovi, narodne grupe i stanovnici odjeveni u raznolike maske šetaju gradom kako bi podsjetili da je počeo odmor, te da se treba kupiti tradicionalni buket cvijeća, koji prema njihovim vjerovanjima štiti od zlih duša. Na kraju zanimljiv je podatak da je ovaj praznik zbog velikog broja prisutnih koji ga proslavljaju u La Corunji i niza događaja postao nacionalna turistička svečanost. I na kraju, ovdje u La Corunji nalazi se i stadion Riazor na kojem igra jedan od najstarijih fudbalskih klubova u Španiji, Deportivo La Coruña, a u tom klubu igra i naš reprezentativac Haris Medunjanin. Gledanje ovog programa omogućili su vam uspješna bosansko-hercegovačka kompanija BH Telekom, produkcijska kuća Team System i BHT1.